Wait, don't scroll. Every man watches women, but only a few men understand what really makes women gravitate towards certain guys without them even trying. If you've ever looked at another man and wondered, what does he know that I don't? You're about to find out. Because attraction isn't luck, it's knowledge. And when a man understands a few key truths, women notice him automatically. But listen, this video isn't about tricks. It's about internal power, emotional mastery, and behavioral awareness that makes you stand out without chasing anyone. If you're a man, this one is for you. And before we go deeper, if this is your first time watching a video from this channel, then you've just done yourself a favor. Welcome to the Mind Forge, for kings only. This is the place where men come to sharpen their mindset, upgrade their value, and understand the psychology behind modern relationships. Here you don't get noise, you don't get watered-down advice, you get raw, clear, powerful principles that turn ordinary men into focused, confident, disciplined leaders. So if you're ready to become a stronger version of yourself, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell because you don't want to miss the next breakthrough. Now let's get into it. Most men grow up thinking attraction is based on looks, money, or luck. But what actually draws women in? What makes them curious? What makes them pay attention is far deeper than anything on the surface. A woman becomes attracted to a man when she feels something from him that she doesn't feel from most men around her. And the first thing women notice isn't your face, your height, or your bank account. It's your presence. Your presence is the combination of how you carry yourself, how you speak, how calm you are, how much control you have over your emotions, and how much noise you don't create. Most men crave attention. A real man commands it through stillness. A woman is quickly attracted to a man who understands the power of not rushing, not begging, not proving anything. A man who moves with direction. Because when you understand your own value, women automatically get curious about you. A man who knows himself becomes magnetic without trying. A man who does not know himself becomes invisible, no matter how hard he tries. Women notice men who walk like their mind is quiet, but their purpose is loud. One of the biggest factors that separates an attractive man from an average one is emotional discipline. Women pay attention to how a man reacts under pressure, how he responds to disrespect, how he handles chaos, and how he maintains calmness when everyone else loses control. A man who can stay composed becomes instantly attractive. Not because he's perfect, but because he feels safe, stable, grounded. Women are instinctively drawn to stability, not money. Stability. Not muscles. Stability. Emotional stability is the highest form of masculine strength, and it's one of the rarest things today. When you are not easily shaken, when you don't snap, panic, or collapse under emotional weight, a woman feels something around you she doesn't feel around most men. Trust, and trust is the foundation of attraction. Women are attracted to men who have clarity. Clarity of purpose, clarity of standards, clarity of boundaries. A man who doesn't know what he wants becomes a burden. A man who knows exactly what he wants becomes a leader. Direction is attractive. Indecision is repulsive. When you know your path, your mission, your weekly goals, your daily habits, you create a world that others want to enter, including women. A woman doesn't want to lead the relationship. She wants to join a man who already has a road ahead of him. This is why the man with vision, even if he hasn't achieved everything yet, becomes more appealing than the man who is lost. Purpose creates gravity, and gravity pulls people in naturally. Women instantly notice men who don't try too hard. The loud guy talks too much. The overconfident guy wants to be seen. The needy guy wants approval. But the grounded man, he's silent because he doesn't need validation. This is the man women whisper about. This is the man they want to understand. This is the man who gets remembered. Confidence is not loud. Confidence is quiet certainty. It's in how you stand, how you look around a room, how you breathe, how you don't rush your words. A man who isn't seeking attention ends up getting the most of it. If you're still watching this, then you truly want to level up as a man. Stick to the end, because what's coming next will shift the way you think. And do me a favor, share this video with another man who needs to hear this. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button so you don't miss what's coming. There's something most men don't understand. Attraction is not created by chasing. It's created by awareness. A woman responds to how a man moves, how he thinks, how he controls himself, and how he handles the world around him. Because to her, your behavior communicates more than your words ever could. A man becomes attractive when he understands that presence is louder than pressure. You don't force connection. You create an environment where connection naturally forms, and that environment is built on self-respect. Women notice when a man has boundaries, not walls. Boundaries. Boundaries are the invisible lines that tell the world, this is how you treat me. This is what I allow. This is what I don't tolerate. This is the standard you must meet if you want access to my time and energy. A man who protects his self-respect becomes instantly attractive because it signals maturity, discipline, and self-awareness. Women do not respect a man who lets everything slide. Women do not admire a man who accepts disrespect because he doesn't want to lose someone. Women do not respond well to a man who abandons his standards just to keep someone in his life. A man with strong self-respect doesn't need to argue. He doesn't need to explain. He doesn't need to chase. His actions speak for him, and that automatically makes him more appealing. Because when a man respects himself, people are forced to respect him too. Most men behave the same way. They rush, they overtext, they overexpress. They want attention too quickly. They reveal everything too soon. But a man who operates differently stands out without effort. Women notice a man who takes his time, a man who observes before he speaks, a man who listens more than he interrupts, a man who doesn't try to impress anyone. He just exists with confidence. That type of man feels rare, and what is rare becomes desirable. You see, modern masculinity has been weakened. Many men don't know how to present themselves, protect their identity, or control their impulses. So when a man appears who is calm, disciplined, self-controlled, and focused, the contrast is powerful. Women gravitate toward him because he feels solid, he feels grounded, he feels like someone who can handle life. Not because he's trying to be attractive, but because his character makes him attractive. If you're still watching this right now, then you are not an average man. You're someone who actually wants to level up. So stick with me, because the deeper we go, the more powerful this message becomes. And listen, share this video with another man who needs to hear this. Help another brother grow. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button right now so you don't miss the next life-changing video.
Energy is everything, not physical energy, emotional energy. Women pay attention to how a man's energy feels. Does he look anxious? Does he talk too much because he wants approval? Does he react emotionally to small things? Does he need validation? Or is he calm, steady, grounded, controlled? A man with stable energy instantly becomes more attractive because he brings peace instead of pressure. Women notice a man who has emotional discipline, a man who knows when to speak and when to stay silent, a man who thinks before he reacts, a man who doesn't get dragged into drama. This type of man feels safe, not in a soft way, but in a secure way. He feels like someone a woman can depend on, not because he tries to be dependable, but because he is dependable by nature. Controlled energy is one of the rarest masculine traits, and rare is irresistible. Consistency is one of the most attractive qualities a man can have. Women notice when a man is constantly improving his mindset, improving his discipline, improving his craft, improving his fitness, improving his value. A man who grows becomes attractive because growth creates confidence. Most men get comfortable. Most men stop learning. Most men stop building themselves. Most men stop leveling up because they think improvement is optional. But a man who keeps upgrading, that man separates himself from the crowd. That man becomes respected. That man becomes harder to replace. Women don't want perfection, they want progress. A progressing man is always appealing because a man who invests in himself automatically communicates that he will invest in his life. And a woman feels safer in the life of a man who has direction. Women are naturally drawn to men with purpose, not because of what they can gain from him, but because purpose gives a man a different type of presence. A man with purpose is not bored. He's not confused. He's not lost. He's not dependent on approval. He has something that drives him, something that wakes him up in the morning, something that fills his mind more than distractions ever could. Purpose is masculine gravity, and gravity pulls people closer without forcing anything. A woman feels this instinctively. She can sense a man who has direction. She can feel his focus. She can feel that his life is bigger than attention-seeking behavior. Purpose makes you attractive because it makes you disciplined. It makes you confident. It makes you consistent. It makes you strong in quiet ways. A man with purpose doesn't chase, he builds. And when a man builds, people naturally want to follow him. Women are easily attracted to men who know these things. At the deepest level, attraction is not about tricks, games, or manipulation. It's about awareness. Awareness of what drives a woman's emotional instincts. Awareness of how a man's behavior shapes her response. Awareness of the silent signals that decide whether she respects you, ignores you, or becomes drawn to you without even understanding why. A woman doesn't panic for a man. She reacts to what that man represents. His standards, his emotional stability, his discipline, his self-control, his purpose, his willingness to walk away instead of begging for attention. And here's the truth most men ignore. A woman is not attracted to who you pretend to be. She's attracted to the man you consistently are. She senses the depth of your self-belief. She feels the strength of your presence. She notices how you carry yourself when you think no one is watching. She pays attention to the details. Your tone, your focus, your composure, your ability to stand firm even when things don't go your way. Women don't fall for loud men. They fall for centered men, stoic men, men who can hold their own emotions without becoming cold or chaotic. Men who know themselves so deeply that nobody can shake them out of character. And when a man has that level of self-mastery, it changes everything about how women respond to him. Self-mastery is what separates boys from men. The reason many men struggle with attraction is because they are reactive. They respond before thinking. They get emotional too quickly. They chase validation. They rush connection. They fear being alone, so they cling too tightly. But a man who has mastered himself moves differently. He doesn't rush. He doesn't seek approval. He doesn't panic when someone pulls back. He doesn't lose control when someone tests him. He understands something powerful. The man who controls himself controls the situation. Women sense this strength instantly, not because you say anything impressive, but because your entire energy communicates confidence. A man who has emotional discipline becomes unpredictable, in a good way, not dramatic, not chaotic, but mysterious, because he isn't moved by small things. That mystery is not a game. It's a natural effect of being a man who prioritizes purpose over validation. A woman respects a man she can't control. A woman admires a man she can't easily influence. A woman is attracted to a man she can't predict, not because he is unstable, but because he is focused. Focused men are magnetic. Their energy pulls you in. Their silence speaks. Their presence strengthens. Their actions set standards without needing to explain the standards. That is the difference between attraction that fades and attraction that deepens. Women gravitate toward men who don't make them their life. There's a reason why a man becomes more attractive when he becomes unavailable, because his time is not cheap, his attention is not free, his purpose is not negotiable. Women notice when a man has a life outside of them, goals he is actively chasing, responsibilities he prioritizes, passions he is committed to a future. He is building peace. He protects boundaries he enforces. A man who has a life makes a woman curious. A man who has no life makes a woman bored. Women are naturally drawn to men who don't revolve around them, not because they want to be ignored, but because they want to feel like they are joining a man with direction, not becoming the direction. A man with direction becomes a challenge, a desirable challenge, a challenge that inspires her to bring her best self forward because she knows she can't win him over with looks alone. That type of man is rare, and anything rare becomes valuable. Women respect men who don't fear losing them. This is one of the biggest keys to attraction. Women are attracted to men who are not afraid to walk away. Not because he wants to walk away, but because he won't stay somewhere that destroys his peace. He won't continue conversations that lead nowhere. He won't chase someone who doesn't appreciate him. He won't beg for attention, validation, or emotional crumbs. A man who fears losing a woman starts shrinking himself. A man who doesn't fear losing her grows even stronger. Women can feel this difference instantly. A man who fears losing her becomes anxious. A man who doesn't fear losing her becomes calm. And calmness is attractive because calmness signals strength. Women test men emotionally, not to break them, but to see whether their strength is real. When a man stays centered during emotional tension, something powerful happens. She respects him more because the man she can't shake becomes the man she can't forget. Women are attracted to men who communicate with clarity. Clarity is confidence. Uncertainty is weakness. Women appreciate men who speak with intention. Direct, not disrespectful. Honest, not harsh, calm. Not careless, confident, not arrogant. A man who communicates clearly is attractive because he makes things easy to understand. He doesn't send mixed signals. He states what he wants. He says what he means. He doesn't beg. He doesn't complain. He doesn't try to prove himself. Clarity shows maturity, and maturity is one of the most underrated forms of masculinity. Here is the truth. A woman is not attracted to your looks first. She is attracted to your mindset, your identity, your discipline, your silence, your direction, your certainty, your structure, your emotional control, your value, your energy, your standards, your life. Women are easily attracted to men who understand themselves deeply, men who don't chase attention, men who move with purpose, men who respect themselves, men who don't break under pressure, men who grow, men who protect their peace, men who lead their life instead of waiting for someone to give their life meaning. This is what makes a man attractive, not for a moment, but consistently. Women gravitate toward men who carry this energy because it is rare, because it is powerful, because it is masculine, because it cannot be easily replaced. And if you want to rise into that version of yourself, if you want to understand the deeper psychology behind why women behave the way they do, if you want to learn the hidden triggers that control attraction, then listen carefully. If you want to understand why women react the way they do when a man pulls back, and why they panic when masculine silence appears, click the next video. It will open your eyes.